episode of Football Unfiltered. I'm your host BUBE, and here with me is Emmanuel, and together we'll be looking at the EPL features for the weekend. Welcome to the studio, Emmanuel.
Thank you once again. It's glad to be here.
Yeah, it's glad to be here. How was your day?
Well, my day went well. Mondays are always, packed with workloads.
Yeah.
So it was okay. It was okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Though I was not expecting to be at the studio today, but all the same,
Yeah.
it's always glad to be here to
Yeah,
discuss,
exactly.
the round later game.
Okay. You're welcome once again.
Thank you.
So before we proceed, don't forget to click on the subscribe button and also drop your comments on the comment section. We'll be glad to receive your comments and get your opinion on what we'll be talking about today. Thank you. So the first game that will be played is between Brighton and Chelsea. At this point in the league, any mistake from Newcastle, any mistake from Nottingham Forest, Chelsea, and the likes of it, the person will come down, the team will come down.
Because Chelsea is 43 on the table.
Yes, and the other teams, they are topping each other with not
just
much.
one point.
So now they'll be meeting a tough side, which is Brighton. What do you think will play out in that game? Do you think it's going to be an easy game for Chelsea, or do you think Brighton will take the win?
I think the FA Cup they had a few days ago, Brighton defeated Chelsea
Yes.
from behind. It was
Exactly.
just a surprising win, and nobody expected it to come that way because the Premier League game between Chelsea and Brighton ended 4-2.
Yeah.
I think Brighton scored first in that game,
Yeah. Then Chelsea,
and then Palmer
yes,
did his miracle and the rest
equalized.
of it. So nobody was expecting that Brighton was going to win that game because Chelsea is in form,
Yeah.
and looking at the table, Chelsea is fourth on the table, and they are 43 points, while Brighton is just 34 points. So everybody was expecting that game to actually come in favor of Chelsea, but surprisingly, I don't know the kind of magic that Brighton put up. So in this game, I think what played out at the FA Cup actually play out. Yeah, even if Chelsea is going to win that game, it's not going to be an easy one because one, Brighton is playing at home, and the first leg Chelsea won 4-2 at their home.
Yeah.
So just like a revenge or a return leg where Brighton will have to say, okay, you defeated us at the first leg, and then we defeated you during the FA Cup. So it's our opportunity for us to actually say, okay, let's get a point. So I won't give you the Chelsea win. I will not also give you the Brighton win.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the draw for me in that game. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll see how that play out. Coupled with the fact that Brighton, they are the ones at home, while Chelsea is away. So
Yeah.
probably it's going to be a tough game. So let's look at the next game that we play between your Arsenal, your dear Arsenal, and Leicester City. Leicester has actually been poor this season.
Yeah, they have. I mean,
So yes, so they have just 17 points out of 24 games that have been played in the Premier League. While you guys are comfortably seated in the
second
second,
position,
yes,
50 points.
it's 50 points. Do you think this would be an easy game for
Sure.
your team?
It will be an easy game. It should be because if you look at the game Liverpool has at hand, Liverpool has an outstanding game, which they will play on the 12th. Today is 10th. That's
Yeah.
in 2 days' time. They will play against Everton, and invariably, Everton will carry the frustration or the anger from the FA Cup. They lost the FA Cup yesterday. They on Sunday rather. That was yesterday now, right? They lost the FA Cup against a League
Leicester.
2. No, I mean Liverpool. Liverpool lost
Liverpool,
against a League 2 team,
Yeah,
Plymouth
yeah.
Argyle, something like that.
Surprisingly, yes.
Nobody saw that coming, because they felt it's a League 2 team, they can easily win that game. So definitely they'll be focusing now on the Premier League because in FA Cup they are out of it.
Yeah.
In Carling Cup, I don't know if they are still in Carling Cup, but I think Liverpool
Carabao
Cup, yeah.
They're in the final.
Sorry?
Final,
They
the
do
Carabao.
final.
Yeah, final. Okay, fine. They are playing final, right?
Yeah.
Against Man U.
No,
Fine.
Newcastle.
Okay. So I think this game is going to be like, let us now focus on Premier League. This is
Yeah.
our opportunity for us to win the Premier League. And if you look at the distance between Liverpool and Arsenal, it's about six points.
Exactly.
And if they win this game against Everton on 12th, it's going to be like 9 points clear. So I think what Arsenal needs to do is just to keep pushing the gap, keep closing in that gap, and see if something can come up somehow. And then, because already they started rolling on Arsenal. Last week I saw some dragging against Arsenal. we are going trophy because Newcastle defeated them. But I really understand that in football, even a one game can change the fortune. It happened last season between Arsenal and Man City when they were dragging the title. So I think nobody should rule Arsenal out this season so far. We are still contending for the title. So I think for me it's going to be a straight win for Arsenal, not just a straight win. Arsenal will score with at least 2 goals.
Okay, one thing I've actually appreciated about you is the way you carry your club.
Of course, I'm a proud Arsenal
and the way you trust your club.
Oh, I told you, which place was there. I told you we were going to defeat Man City. I told you that Arsenal is the only team.
Surprisingly, with 5 goals.
Arsenal is the only team that can comfortably beat Man City in the Premier League because
with 5 goals. I was not even expecting that much goal.
So people think Arteta was just an assistant coach to Guardiola. He actually learned a lot. If you watch the way Arsenal plays football now, that tiki-taka that Man City plays, the only thing Arsenal needs now is just a striker.
Yeah.
We are okay. Our defense is okay. Our midfield is okay. We just need a striker that will actually convert those of our chances into opportunities. And I believe Arteta will do something about it because we've been complaining honestly. And I hope that he's going to do something about it either at the end of the season, so at the beginning of next season, or probably before the season runs out. So for me, it's going to be a win for Arsenal against Leicester City.
Okay, so we'll see how that plays out. So let's quickly look at the next game that will be played, and it's between Aston Villa and Ipswich.
Ipswich Town, yeah.
Yes. So Emery, your former, will be meeting one of, should I say Glazer's favorite team?
Our favorite team, because I also rooted for them. Yeah, I'm rooting for them as well.
Even though the EPO has been so tough and difficult for them, and I don't know if they're going to survive this season, but let's see how that goes. So what do you think will play out in this game?
Okay, looking at the table here, I think Aston Villa should actually do something to get that 3 point, because if they should win that game, they will come up to the 7th position.
Yes.
While Bournemouth, on the other hand, if they should also win their game, they will come up to. So if you look at it, the teams from the 5th, 6th, and 7th position, it's just a one point difference. So just like you said earlier, anybody that loses loses any opportunity now, you're going to come down. Because right now we are almost at the end of say the final lap of the season.
Exactly.
So everybody is struggling, and unfortunately for Ipswich Town, they started well. That's why we're actually rooting for them because of the pattern of play.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, I would say that the squad depth is coming on them now because they don't have the players to actually to solve and all that. I've watched their last 2 games. Once it gets to 60-70 minutes, that tiredness comes in, and the experienced teams then begin to put in their squad depth and all that. So I think Aston Villa should actually, because the first game was a draw, 2-2 draw, and it was not actually a good one for Aston Villa. So they should actually utilize this opportunity because Ipswich Town is actually going back. From all indications, they are going back.
Exactly.
So I think it's now left for Aston Villa to use the opportunity, grab your 3 points, and then keep pushing. So for me, I'm going to give it an Aston Villa win.
Alright, so let's look at the next game that will be played, and it's between Fulham and Nottingham Forest.
Very strong
Exactly.
tie.
They are one of the favorites
Honestly,
to make it to the top 4 this season, and they'll be meeting another strong side, which is Fulham, that is currently seated in the 9th position. So what are your expectations?
Well, Fulham actually won their first game
against
Nottingham Forest, when Nottingham Forest were actually not informed. But if you look at Nottingham Forest now, you can agree with me that they are the underdogs now.
Actually.
Every team is actually afraid of playing Nottingham Forest. Remember that they are the team that beat Liverpool. The first lose Liverpool had this season.
To stop them in the forest.
So when they say Liverpool's boss got stuck in the forest. So I think Nottingham Forest, the coach said recently that they actually title contenders. And you could see it from their performances. So invariably it showed that they are not taking any chance. Now, if you look at the table, they are actually just 3 points behind Arsenal. So invariably they can get a win from that game, considering the fact that they lost in their first game against Fulham, and their last three matches, I think they've actually had tremendous performances. They had a 7-0 win, shocking win against the Brighton, though they lost against Nottingham for a Bournemouth, but they've had very good, impressive performances. And I think for a team like Fulham that is actually sitting ninth in the position, they can actually get a draw. Because I don't expect Fulham to actually beat Nottingham Forest home and away. In Premier League, it's not that easy. So for me, I'm going to go with a draw in that game. Yeah, if anybody should win that game, it should be a Nottingham Forest, considering their current form. So I'll go with a draw, but Nottingham Forest win.
Alright, so we'll see how that plays out. So quickly, let's look at the next game that will be played by the weekend, which is between Manchester City and Newcastle. This one is going to be a game of the survivor of the fittest.
Yeah.
So Man City is currently seated 5th in the league table, while Newcastle is seated 6th in the league table. So it's not like going to be a fight between the two teams, but anything can still happen. So let me get your opinion.
They are both the same points. You look at the table here, they are the same points.
Exactly.
They are the same goal difference. Man City is 13 goal difference. Sorry, 13 goals on the table.
Yeah.
Newcastle is 13 goals. Man City is 41 points.
And
so it's going to be like a very strong tie.
Exactly.
The first game they played a 1-1 draw.
Exactly.
So invariably we should be expecting a draw in this game. Yeah, because as it stands now, every team knows that Man City has a defensive problem.
Yes.
Yeah, they have a defensive problem. So invariably, you should be expecting goals from a Newcastle. For Man City to score, yeah, it's possible because of the likes of Haaland, the likes of what's his name, the new signees from the German club and the rest of them. So I think for me, it's going to be survival of the fittest, just like you said, and anybody who can actually get more goals on their side. So I'm not rooting for anybody win now. I'm going to say it's going to be a festival of goals. For those who are into sports betting, it's going to be an opportunity for you to actually get at least over 3.5 goals in that game.
Okay, we'll see how that plays. I believe Man City might not want to lose that. Seeing that they made a mistake in their last game. Okay, they lost in their last game and Chelsea won and top them. So they wouldn't want to make that same mistake. But let's see how that goes. I'm not supporting anybody.
We're getting to your team now.
Okay, so let's look at the next game that we played. It's between Southampton and Bournemouth. The worst team will be facing another top team in the table.
Yeah.
So what are your expectations?
Well, Southampton is another team that might actually go back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because look at the table; they are the least on the table, and the goal difference is much, -36. And it shows that in every game they concede. I don't think they've out of 24 and they've conceded 36. So invariably, if you divide it by the number of matches they played, it means that in every game they've actually conceded. So they are not actually making any progress. And I don't see them, dominating or say, disputing the likes of Ipswich Town and Leicester City to get out of the relegation zone. So
they've played 24 games and they have only 9 points.
So it's terrible. And if you look at Bournemouth, Bournemouth is informed. Bournemouth is informed. Their last 5 matches, they've had just one lose against Liverpool. And everybody knows that Liverpool actually the champions currently. So you should not expect Bournemouth to defeat Liverpool. But then Bournemouth is informed. Look at their recent matches; they've actually been informed. So I think it's going to be a win for a Bournemouth because they actually getting the opportunity for them to at least even not for Europa League, at least they can get an opportunity to get a slot in the Conference League. You look at the table here; they are 7th. If they keep pushing forward, they can actually struggle to get at least a 5th or 6th position at the end of the league. So I'm going to give you Bournemouth to win for that game.
So quickly, let's look at the next game that will be played between West Ham and Brentford. Okay, so I quickly want to get your opinion on this game.
These are 2 mid-table teams, and if you look at their pattern of play, they are both attacking teams.
Yes.
And if you look at their head-to-head, if you can see that in their last 5 matches, they've actually had Brentford having 3 wins, 1 draw, and 1 win on the side of West Ham. But the most important thing there is that these are 2 teams that actually get goals in all their matches. In their last 5 matches, they've both teams almost scoring. The only game that they didn't score was the last season's game where they actually defeated each other. Brentford actually defeated West Ham home and away 2-0. But every other game they've had both teams score each other. So for me, it's going to be like it's a festival of goals, just like in the game between between Man City and Newcastle. So we should be expecting goals in that game. Yeah, because the both teams are actually attacking side. And if you look at the table, Brentford is actually sitting 11th on the table with 31 points, while West Ham is sitting 15 on the table. So I think Brentford actually has the opportunity over there, and they've not actually considered much goals. The goal difference there is 0, while that of West Ham is minus 17. Invariably, West Ham is having a deficiency in goals, while Brentford, they've been covering up in their goal scoring opportunity. So for me, it's going to be a both team to score game. But if anybody should win in that game, I'm going to give it a Brentford win or a draw. But definitely there are going to be goals in that game.
Okay, that's nice. We'll see how that plays out. So let's quickly look at the next game that will be played, and it's going to be between Crystal Palace and Everton. So Everton is currently seated 12th in the league table with 30 points, while Crystal Palace is seated 16th on the table with 26 points. So what do you think will play out in this game?
Well, currently, if you look at the form of the both teams here, you agree with me that Crystal Palace is actually in form.
Yeah.
But if you look at, because I always just bring my analysis from their head-to-head, and then couple with the recent. So if you look at their head-to-head, Crystal Palace have not defeated Everton in their last 5 matches. Everton has had 3 wins, and then they've had 2 draws. And if you look at the table, just like you said, you can see that from the table here, Crystal Palace is sorry, my network is a bit slow here, so I'll just quickly. Okay, from the table here, Crystal Palace is 12th position, while Everton is 16th position. The goal difference here is about just -2 and -5. But if you look at the recent matches of the both teams, you can see that Crystal Palace have had just 1 lose in their last 5 games, while Everton have had 2 losses in their last 5 games. So I think it's going to be a draw game for me, because there are 2 teams that are actually being careful right now not to lose for that point here. So I'm going to go with a draw in that game. But if anybody should win, we'll look at the other side of it. If anybody should win, it should be an Everton win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll see how that plays out. So quickly, let's look at the next tough game. I think this is going to be a tough game that will be played at the weekend, and it's between Spurs and Manchester United. It is hard for me to even pick the worst team between these two.
I'll pick a Man U, because if the coach can actually come up publicly and tell you this is the worst Man U team so far, what are we to this field? He knows.
So what are your expectations?
I'm going to give it a Spurs win.
Okay.
Because they are playing home, and Man U right now, I don't know what the problem is. They've sacked the coach. Let's say retrenched some players. I don't know. The coach is actually doing his best now to see how he can manage the team until the end of the season. Maybe from next season, they will begin to do some transfers and sell out and the rest of it. So for me, I'm going to give it a Tottenham win, because right now, Man U is not. I think even an Ipswich Town can defeat Man U. On a serious note, it's really embarrassing. It's really embarrassing. I feel for Man U fans. I feel for them because
this is one of the worst seasons.
Yeah, I feel for them because every team, every match now, they don't go with to win. They just go to say, let us just go and play like that. So I think I'm going to give it a win to Tottenham, because they are playing at home, and right now they are actually more in form than Man U. So definitely they should use the opportunity. In their first leg, remember, they defeated Man U 3-0 at away. Now they are coming to Tottenham's home.
Even so, I think Tottenham has been sick.
but not to where Man U is.
They've been sick. Oh.
Yeah, they have been sick, no doubt. They've been sick because if you look at their last 5 matches.
Even with their point, they currently have 27 points. Why Man U have 29 points?
Yeah, yeah. So
and Tottenham is one team that you can't really. When you think they'll win a game, they'll go there and fuck up and play rubbish.
Yeah, it's true. They are inconsistent.
I'm telling you, that's why I said it's so difficult for me between the two teams.
Yeah.
Now, it's so difficult for me to even say, okay, Man U should win or Spurs should win, because Spurs can go into that game and lose.
No.
And I won't be surprised.
Bube, if there should be a surprise over the weekend, it should be the game between Newcastle and Man City.
Okay.
Yeah, but for this game,
You think?
yeah, because in the first leg when this guy was not even fully back when Son just resumed from injury, they defeated Man U 3-0, and you're looking at the Spurs now. Actually, they have the full team on ground, and the Man U we're talking about here, they are not coordinated.
Yeah, still confused.
So what do you expect? There might be goals from Man U. Man U might be able to score a goal. Yeah, but I don't see Man U winning that game.
Okay.
I'm going to give it the Tottenham win.
Straight win.
Yeah, but with the both teams to score, very likely.
Okay. So let's look at the next game that we played between the kings of the league, Liverpool and Wolves. Your take, no need to talk about this so much. What are your expectations?
You know, in the first leg, Liverpool struggled to defeat Wolves. That game ended 2-1. I think at the 9 minutes. And if you look at Wolves so far in the Premier League, they are the teams that actually embarrass the big boys. Yeah, they are. They have always known how to play the big teams. You see Wolves, you see Bournemouth, you see the likes of West Ham. These are teams that they are not contending for trophy.
Yeah.
They are not contending for Champions League. They are not contending for. Their own is just to spoil. We call them the spoilers of the Premier League. So yeah.
They are there to bring something
I'm
down.
telling you.
Stop them from making it
So for me, I don't think Liverpool should go into this game with a kid's glow. They should actually put in their full effort. Otherwise, they will be embarrassed.
Because they might go into this game with this confidence that it's a small team, we'll easily win them.
Yeah,
and they'll end up being
don't be surprised. Another shocker you might have this weekend is between Liverpool and Wolves. So for me, I will not actually rule out Wolves. I'm going to give it a Liverpool win, but I expect Wolves to get a goal in that game. So we should expect the both teams to score and then Liverpool to win in that game.
You're not saying this based on the side that you're an Arsenal fan and you want Liverpool to drop points.
Who would not expect that Liverpool to drop points? Every fan expects the closest rival to drop points. That's what we pray for. In fact, I even expect Liverpool to lose against Everton on the 12th and expect them to get a draw against a Wolves, because I won't say Wolves should win Liverpool at home. No, I should say let Wolves get a draw. But then that's what we're praying for. If Arsenal should get the opportunity, then it's our own favour. At least after how many years? Let me come to the studio with 2 Arsenal jerseys and do the win. I'll give.
That would be so nice. You give to
Blaze. I know you don't want to wear my jersey, but that day I'll force him to wear it. He has no choice.
He will. Okay. Before we leave the studio, let's look at some of the rumors. It's not a rumor anyway. Some of the things that happened within last week and this week. Okay, we heard that Rashford has currently moved
to Aston Villa.
Yeah, to Aston Villa on loan. Do you think this is a good move for Rashford, or do you think it's going to affect Manchester United in a way, or do you think it's still a good one for Manchester United? What do you think about this move?
If you look at Rashford's performance before he left, everybody could say that he was not actually doing well.
Yeah, at his best.
His presence was not felt. So leaving Man U, there was no vacuum created.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he played the last game.
I think he was impressed. I think he played well.
I didn't watch the game, but however, I know Rashford cannot perform or outperform the likes of what's his name? Watkins have left. What's his name? This is their striker. Duran, thank you.
Yeah.
Duran has even left. Duran is in Saudi Arabia now. So I don't,
He's eating money.
yeah. So I don't know the possibility of Rashford actually dominating or becoming the top striker there or
In the team.
the team there.
Well, let's see how
Yeah,
it goes.
but then it's a good move for him instead of remaining in Man U where
I
he
think there was a lot of pressure on him
him,
while
yeah.
he was at Man U, and I think he's going to shine better at Aston Villa.
Let's-
But we'll still see how.
yeah,
that
let's
plays
see how
out.
it goes. Yeah, let's see how it goes.
Okay, your player, one of your player, Gabriel Martinelli,
Injured,
sustained an
yeah.
injury. So do you think it's going to affect your team in a way?
It will, yeah, because Martinelli, though my grouse with Martinelli is that he doesn't convert his chances.
Yeah.
Like he's not really good at converting his chances, but he creates chances.
And Saka is almost
Saka
about
is
returning.
returning, yeah. I think it will not really affect us because you have the likes of Trossard there, you have the like of Waneri there, you also have the like of Lewis there. So I think Ateta is actually doing what we have been expecting him to do. That's what depth of the team.
Yes.
He has been trying to see how we can actually get a replacement in every position.
Yes.
The only challenge, like I said earlier at the beginning of the show, is the area of our striking.
Yeah.
We need a very good striker that can
And as if
actually.
your coach is not doing anything about it. Since the transfer window is still on.
We're expecting him to get a striker over the windows, but he said he's comfortable with what he has. I don't know. Let's see what he can do with
Maybe
it.
he has a plan. A strong
Yeah,
plan.
he has a plan. But for me, I think Martinelli's injury will not really affect Arsenal. Yeah, it won't. We have a
Okay.
replacement already for him, and I wish him a quick recovery.
Alright, so the last one before we leave the studio is the current, is still a current trending news that Ugochukwu of Chelsea and Chukwuemeka of Chelsea, they are trying to switch to Super Eagles, to Nigerian national team. As a Nigeria that you are, and couple of times that they are coming from the Premier League as well.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be a great move to the Super Eagles club?
Of course. The World Cup qualifiers will be resuming in March, and if you look at the table, Super Eagles is the least on the table with just about 3 points, and we have two crucial matches. First is on the 17th of March. Second one is on the 24th of March. We are playing in Rwanda.
Yeah.
In Rwanda that is I think second on the table. And we are playing in Zimbabwe. I think either fourth on the table or thereabout. So if you look at the World Cup qualifiers now, the easiest thing the new coach should do now is to get the best of
players,
Nigeria's.
And seeing how Chukwuemeka has actually played,
Honestly,
he's a good player.
this is not a time for you to go and say you want to get local players.
Start
No,
watching them on
please,
training
nah,
days.
to try them. Just get your best squad. And so far he has been trying. I've seen him visited. He will
Some of
be
them out there, some
and
players
out there
abroad.
trying to make them understand the essence of coming back, because
Yeah.
we lost the last World Cup. We didn't qualify,
Exactly.
and it will be a very big blow on our face not
They
to
don't
go to the
qualify
next
again.
World Cup. Looking at the quality of players we have right now who are doing well in their various clubs. So I think it's going to be a very big opportunity for Nigeria.
Okay.
And I'll be looking forward to see that actually happen, come to play, because I know, apart from Arsenal, I'm also a Nigerian football lover. I can't wait to wear that green and white jersey again and support my club.
To fan them.
Sure.
Okay, fans. This is all we'll be coming to the end of the show. Emmanuel, it's always a pleasure. It's always glad to have you here in the studio.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
I look forward to our next show.
Okay, so viewers, don't forget to click on the subscribe button and also on the notification button so you get notified on other programs that we're posting through this channel. See you in the next episode.